Let's talk about when Saturn is retrograde in the sign of Gemini. Now, this sign is of Mercury. The sign is of communication. So there could be a very odd style of communication or something unique about the communication or something odd about the communication. Third sign, which is sign of Gemini, also represent your ability to write, or you have seen those people who writes articles, who writes in the newspaper, or who publish anything, right? So something unique only they will be publishing or writing. Now, such people, they can, send messages, emails, they can convey something, and then later they will want to change it, or they will say, okay, I want to. The people who frequently send message, they frequently delete it again, then they send again, right? They are mistaking. What they are doing is they are making mistakes in the communication. Such people, they communicate something, the other person will think something else only. So miscommunication is there. Now, third house is also represent your neighbors. So there could be a very odd in nature kind of neighbor, someone odd in your neighbor. Or either he would be facing some kind of mental issues or issues related to nerves, because Mercury represent your nerves. So throat also we have to consider. So there can be throat related issues the person might face, right? Or maybe when the person eats or swallows anything, it will be very slow. Now, third house is also of your courage. Now, Saturn retrograde is sitting here. So the person will think a lot when it comes to taking the required actions. There will be delays. There will be lot of obsession related to the paperwork, contracts. Maybe the person is checking again and again each of the paper, each of the line, whether I have made any mistake. Now, whenever, so this is something you can test. So search people, since now you connect the dots. If it is the third house, sign of Gemini, it is the sign of Mercury. Mercury represent young child, prince, it is, right? So you might face challenges when you were young and you were playing around, like in your neighbor you were playing, and there could be challenge from specifically from old people. They might trouble you, or they might not let you play. They will always say, no, you cannot play here. So we have to use the signification, we have to use the signs, we have to use the house, then the planet. Let's say this Saturn is retrograde in the 8th house in the sign of Gemini. Now, what is your obsession? Your obsessions, since it's still the sign of Gemini, so paperwork and all those things will be still there. But since now the house is 8th house, so 8th house is your inheritance. So now paperwork related to inheritance. So you will be very much careful about it. You will be, you will do very minute. You will be very minute or very specific when you are signing the document related to inheritance, or any report which is coming after a lot of research, because you are making sure that everything is perfect. We have talked about that the person, like whatever significations we have talked about, right? You can also apply it to the in-laws family now, since it is the 8th house. So someone in the family of in-laws can have either odd hairs or odd kind of shoes, or liking towards it. Like there are people who will, dye their hair with very strange or very unique kind of colors, or they will wear very funky or very, multiple colored shoes. Something related to it is possible. Now, what else we can see when the Saturn is retrograde in the sign of Gemini? So, as this is sign of Gemini, it is related to your neighbors, your environment, your friend circle, right? Now, Mercury and the Gemini sign specifically show your neighbor. So when Saturn is retrograde in the sign of Gemini, the native always say, okay, I never get the right environment. I never get the right people around me. I always got the negative environment. He always thinks, okay, I didn't got the right people in my life. That's why I'm behind. What else? Person will say, okay, I have not got the opportunity at the right time. I have not taken this action at the right time. I have not chosen the right person at the right time. Now, third house, Mercury, it is of your throat, right? So thyroid issue is possible. Communication, miscommunication, that again becomes very prominent. Like miscommunication is possible. Now, such people should never delivers or spread the misinformation, wrong information, or negative information, or negative news. Because here in the sign of Gemini, whenever Saturn goes retrograde, maybe your intentions are right, but you will be always misunderstood. Now, people might only call you when they are in trouble, especially when it is in the Virgo sign and it is retro. People only calls you when they are in trouble. Otherwise, they don't even remember you. They don't want to remember you. Since Mercury also shows your friend circle, it owns the sign of Gemini and also the sign of Virgo. Something odd related to your friendships. Either you don't have friends or you have no genuine friend. Now, especially when it is in the sign of Virgo, you have to make sure that you're helping people, that's okay. But don't expect anything from them. Don't expect that they will say, oh wow, you are such a great person. You have done this and that for me. They will not do it. If you want to help, but without expecting anything.